It may only be mid-2025, but leaks for LEGO Harry Potter are already buzzing about January 2026. The last wave gave the theme a much-needed boost of creativity, but now, unbelievably early, we have leaks of 8 new sets for 2026. These set names leave us asking a lot of questions, so let's dive in and speculate on what each of these rumoured 26 sets could be. Before we get into that, there's one thing you should do first, and that's hit that subscribe button, press the like button, and share this with your LEGO friends if you want to stay in the loop with all things LEGO Harry Potter. First up is Hagrid and Harry's Privet Drive Escape, a 1999 set that I'm guessing is going to recreate the Seven Potters escape from the Deathly Hallows. Based on its price, this will be a minifigure scale set. We recently saw a version of Hagrid's motorcycle in the January 2025 set. This was 76443, but that one used large buildable figures and wasn't exactly a hit with fans. Hopefully this new take will deliver what fans wanted. Hagrid's bike in proper minifig scale, a young Harry hanging on for dear life, and maybe even a taste of the battle. As for minifigures, Harry and Hagrid are the obvious ones, but at least a single Death Eater on the broom would be amazing, and a few of the Order characters too. But based on its price, I'm not so sure this is going to happen. All I know is it's great that LEGO are revisiting scenes from the Deathly Hallows again, and fans will be able to get hold of a Hagrid minifigure in a set that only costs $20. Next is the Hogwarts Castle Sorting Hat Ceremony, and at just $14.99, this looks to be a small but delightful nod to one of the most iconic scenes from Harry Potter. I'm not expecting much for the price, but we'll probably get a couple of first year students and maybe a Professor McGonagall with a sorting hat. Although this is part of the Hogwarts Castle modular line, it's more likely to be a small little add-on, similar to the Dueling Club set we recently got. Here's a fun and unusual one, a set simply called Cornish Pixie for $29.99. So I'm thinking Chamber of Secrets, Professor Lockhart, Cage of Pixies, but to be honest, all signs point to a brick-built creature, similar in concept to the Dobby the House Elf set. For reference, the Dobby set was a posable figure of Dobby with a few accessories, and since this pixie has a similar price point, I expect a nicely sculpted blue pixie, maybe with translucent wings and some cool colours. This will likely be a display piece first and foremost, but hopefully it still has some articulation or interactive elements. It feels pretty random and out of the blue, and this isn't a set I'd expect many people to get excited about, but it is something different. Then at $99.99 we have Hogwarts Castle Hospital Wing, which is obviously part of the Hogwarts Castle modular expansion. Unlike the tiny sorting hat set, this should be a full-on build that connects to the rest of the Hogwarts Castle modular system. The hospital wing is a location that appears several times throughout the series, and Harry certainly winds up here more than he'd like. So this set could draw inspiration from several films. We can expect details like rows of beds with white sheets, privacy curtains, maybe Madame Pomfrey's office, all the essentials of the Hogwarts Infirmary. In terms of minifigs, one almost guaranteed inclusion is Madame Pomfrey herself, whom we last had in 2022. There's so many scenes to pull from, so I'm interested to see where this one goes. For example, Prisoner of Azkaban Ron with a broken leg, Hermione and Harry post-time travel, or Half-Blood Prince Ron. They have so many options, but regardless, a big hospital wing set will be a welcome addition and a key missing piece to our ever-expanding Hogwarts Castle. This set is one of the more intriguing leaks on the list. Cauldron, Secret Potions Classroom. The name alone leaves me scratching my head. With a $59.99 price tag, it sounds like we might be getting a completely new style of LEGO Harry Potter. The concept seems to be a large buildable cauldron that perhaps opens up to reveal a hidden classroom inside. Imagine something akin to the Hogwarts Moments books. This could potentially launch a new sub-theme or collectible series, a line of magical objects that conceal mini-scenes. Inside the cauldron, we'll likely find a detailed potions classroom along with a couple of students. How exactly the cauldron will function is a mystery, but it's certainly a fresh format. In my head, I can't really imagine this turning out very well, but I hope I'm wrong. Now onto the big one, the Philosopher's Stone Collector's Edition. priced at $169.99 and labelled for adults. This is poised to be the centerpiece of the January wave. The name has caused a bit of a stir. At first glance, one might picture a giant UCS rock. Rest assured, it's probably not just going to be a giant rock. Instead, I'd imagine this set to be a large display style model that celebrates the climax of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. There are a couple of ways LEGO could approach this. Perhaps a diorama of the final challenges from the first film, or a focus on the final showdown scene with the Mirror of Error set. Given the precedent of earlier 18+ Harry Potter sets, it could also include a nameplate or a quote. LEGO has done collector's edition sets in two general styles for this theme. Large scale displays like 76391 Hogwarts Icon Collection with Hedwig and objects like books, wands and potions, or scene based builds like the Gringotts Bank. The Philosopher's Stone set could be either. For $170 though, we expect intricate details and possibly some new minifigures. But until we get more info, this set is a complete mystery. It's clearly aimed at adult collectors, and I'm not gonna just shut it down based on the name. It could end up being a must-have centerpiece for any Harry Potter collector. Moving on, we have the long-awaited Lunar Lovegood's house. Priced around $89.99, this will be the first time LEGO has ever represented the Lovegood's bizarre home. A whimsical tower-like structure full of quirky charm, this playset will likely be comparable to the 2020 Attack on the Burrow set. I anticipate a multi-level cricket tower build, probably with lots of odd details like a printed Quibbler newspaper, Luna's bedroom, dirigible plums, and perhaps the living room where the trio discusses the Deathly Hallows. Minifig wise, Xenophilius Lovegood is almost a certainty. We've never gotten him before, and this is the perfect set to include him. It would also make sense to see Harry, Ron and Hermione here in their Deathly Hallows attire since they visit the Lovegood's house. Maybe even a Death Eater minifig. Who knows? In any case, Luna's home is a brand new location for the LEGO Harry Potter theme, and it's something fans have been dreaming of and asking for a long time. My only concern is its price. At $89.99, I'm really hoping this set doesn't end up being a letdown. Similar to the Malfoy mansion, this could end up just being a thin faceplate with some details or inside, or it could be a full building in a small scale. Either way, I'm looking forward to finding out. Finally, rounding out the wave, we have the flying Ford Anglia. Yes, the Weasley car is returning again. This time with a hefty price tag of $79.99. By now, the Flying Ford Anglia is becoming Harry Potter's equivalent of Luke Skywalker's Landspeaker, a vehicle LEGO just can't stop remaking. But before we roll our eyes, this version might actually be something special given the price point. An $80 set focused on the Anglia suggests we're not looking at a simple minifigure scale, and this could be a larger detailed display model of the Ford Anglia. Perhaps not quite as detailed as a $450 LEGO Icon set, but definitely bigger and more intricate than the standard minifig car we keep getting. It might still include a minifig or two for fun, but the focus would probably be on the build of the car itself. Another theory is that the Anglia could come packed with another scene. For instance, it could include the Whomping Willow, but I'd expect that to be included in the name if it was the case. The leaked name doesn't mention anything besides the car, which leans towards a standalone display model. Whatever the case, I've lost count of how many times this car has been made in LEGO form, so LEGO must have a new twist in store to make fans want this one. Let's just hope this one brings something new to the table, because at $80, expectations will be sky high, pun intended, for this flying car. So from these early leaks, the January 2026 Harry Potter wave is shaping up to be a fascinating mix of the familiar and the new. On one hand, LEGO is revisiting classic moments, and on the other, they're giving us things we've never seen before. Some say the theme has overstayed its welcome, but LEGO are still trying to find ways to keep the wizarding world exciting. Which of these rumoured sets are you most excited about? Let's hear your thoughts, and in the meantime, I'll be keeping my extendable ears to the ground for any new info. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's hope 2026